What's going on, guys? It's Greg here, aka NYPrepper. It is Tuesday, May 19th, 2026, and I have some breaking news to share with you guys. Right now it is 16:42 Eastern Time here in the United States, and we have some major breaking news coming in from the Middle East and from Europe. So before I get into the latest with Iran, we have some nuclear exercises taking place starting today over the next 2 days in Russia and here in the U.S. So tonight, the U.S. is going to be test launching a Minuteman III ICBM from Vandenberg Space Force Base. And it'll be interesting to see how many test vehicles they launch from that Minuteman III, which will determine if the U.S. is planning to up-arm the Minutemans from 1 warhead to 3 warheads after the expiration of the START II treaty. And interestingly, Russia announced yesterday, right around the same time, or actually shortly after the U.S. announced that they were testing a Minuteman III, Russia announced that they were doing a full-scale 2-day nuclear war exercise, and it's going to last through the next 2 days. Apparently more than 64,000 Russian troops and 8,000 pieces of equipment will take part in the exercise, and all of the strategic missile forces as well as the Pacific and Northern fleets will take part. Interestingly, drills will also include coordination with the nuclear weapons that are stationed in Belarus. Wow. So Belarus will be involved. So we have the U.S. and Russia and Belarus doing nuclear war exercises over the next 2 days. And Russia's ambassador to the UN told the UN Security Council today that Ukraine is planning to launch drones at Russia from the Baltic countries. And why is that important that Russia said that to the UN Security Council? Because that could be Russia's pretext for an invasion of the Baltics. They're going to claim that the Baltics are involved in the war in Ukraine and that they're allowing Ukraine to launch drones from the Baltic countries at Russia. And the U.S. military seized an Iranian oil tanker overnight in the Indian Ocean, according to the Wall Street Journal. The tanker, known as the Skywave, was likely carrying over 1 million barrels of crude oil that was loaded from Iran's Karg Island in February. And the New York Times, quoting a U.S. official, said Iran moved rocket launch platforms in preparation for renewed fighting. They have apparently reopened dozens of missile sites. They also stated that Trump halted a restart of the war partially because of Pentagon concerns that Iran improved its monitoring systems of U.S. air operations and air defenses. Iranian commanders, possibly with Russian help, studied the flight patterns of American fighter jets and bombers, the U.S. military official said. The official warned that the downing of the F-15 last month and the ground fire that struck an F-35 revealed that American flight tactics had become too predictable in ways that allowed Iran to defend against them more capably. So very interesting. Iran adapted to the U.S.'s strikes, and so the U.S. halted strikes to prevent Iran from learning more about our tactics. Very interesting. And Trump said yesterday that he halted a planned U.S. military strike on Iran today after requests from the Emir of Qatar, the Saudi Crown Prince, and the UAE President, and they were concerned that their air defenses weren't prepared for an Iranian retaliation against their energy facilities. And the Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu had his court testimony shortened by several hours today because of security and political reasons. This is his corruption trial. And the UAE concluded their investigation into the drone that struck the nuclear power plant in the UAE, the Baraka nuclear power plant. They say that the drone came from Iraq. The UAE claims to have intercepted an additional 6 drones over the past 48 hours. Wow. And British Airways has announced that they are extending flight suspensions to Israel through August 1st of this year. And we know that American Airlines has suspended all direct flights to Israel through the rest of this year. And Air France has extended their suspension of flights to the Middle East through the rest of this year as well. And Iran told Pakistan that American positions are the major obstacle to diplomacy. Wow. And Xi Jinping told Trump that he thinks Putin might end up regretting his invasion of Ukraine, according to the Financial Times. And an adult died of the hantavirus in Colorado, according to state health officials. An adult in Colorado died after a confirmed case of hantavirus that is not linked to a recent outbreak aboard a cruise ship in the Atlantic, Colorado Department of Public Health and Environmental officials said in a statement on Monday. So not linked to the cruise ship, but still very concerning. And Germany is preparing for possible war with Russia. Germany is planning a 10 billion euro civil defense expansion amid rising fears over Russia, including purchasing 1,000+ emergency vehicles, 100,000 field beds, a nationwide shelter registry, new civil defense command, CBRN, that's chemical, biological, radiological, and nuclear threat preparedness, civil defense lessons in schools, and bunker maps added to emergency apps. Okay, so this is serious, guys. Europe is preparing for a major war with Russia, okay? And the Estonian defense minister, Hanno Pevkur, told the media that NATO's Baltic air policing aircraft shot down a drone over southern Estonia. He said this is the first time that they shot down a drone themselves. So some kind of drone, probably Russian or Belarusian, that was in Estonia, guys. Russia is actively flying into the Baltic airspace now. Okay, over the last year or two, there's been several of these incursions. And what you're looking at here is footage coming out of Russia showing oil refinery on fire. Ukraine attacked more oil refineries yesterday. And this one is, I believe, in Yaroslav. But Ukraine has really been hitting Moscow hard and various parts of Western Russia. And the president of the Philippines said that the Philippines would have no choice but to be involved in any conflict with Taiwan and China. So the Philippines will back up Taiwan. But that's the latest breaking news that I have. I might be back later on tonight with another update. And until then, take care, God bless, and don't forget the 3 Ps. Prepare, practice, and persevere. And before I continue with the breaking news, I wanted to mention the sponsor for this update, which is Matt Hat Jerky. Guys, if you're a beef jerky lover like myself, you got to try Matt Hat Jerky. This is the best beef jerky I've ever had. I personally met the owner of this company at SHOT Show, and he's actually local to Pennsylvania. This company has an interesting story behind it. He founded this company when he was 11 years old. Yeah, that's right, 11 years old. He's now 19, and he makes gourmet beef jerky, the best jerky I've ever had. He's got over a dozen different flavors, and it's all sourced with U.S. beef, so no foreign beef, no nitrates, and no MSG. So it's all natural American beef jerky. And if you use my promo code NYPrepper, you can get 15% off your entire order. And you got to go to matthatjerky.com and I'm going to leave a link in the description down below. That's matthatjerky.com. One word, matthatjerky.com. Use my promo code NYPrepper to get 15% off your entire order, and the link and the promo code are in the description down below.